Hello, I'm Cheryl Hawkins. Welcome to Solutions, the series that highlights the incredible work that nonprofits do every day to help solve problems in our communities. On this edition of Solutions, we're highlighting Housing Unlimited Incorporated. Housing Unlimited is a nonprofit organization that provides affordable housing for people in mental health recovery who are ready to live independently in Montgomery County. Let's take a look at how Housing Unlimited, Inc. is making a difference in the lives of the people they serve.
I was in a shelter. I was there for 3 years. I was homeless for a while.
It was very rough. It was like 15 ladies living in one room.
I was living with my family, with my mom and dad, because I didn't have any other place to go.
My family didn't know what to do. I mean, what do you do with somebody who just sits there and doesn't, watches TV all day?
When I moved into the Housing Unlimited home, I was a little bit anxious, I was a little bit nervous.
I was scared. And I was very, to be honest with you, I really didn't know how I was going to like it.
But then, I got along great with my roommates. I began school and I really became more independent.
When I got to Housing Unlimited, I knew that I could take certain steps, and I did.
I like living here because it's affordable, it's more stable, and my roommate is okay. And the privacy. I love the privacy.
I have my own independence and it's wonderful.
I could walk to the grocery store. It gave me that independence that I was looking for.
It was very nice. I got my own room. I can lock my door with my key. I can lock my door with the front door key. I got a mailbox key.
I mean, my first goal is to actually do more with volunteering.
I was on the Tenants Council for Housing Unlimited. I was vice president first and then president, and that gave me the opportunity to find a job.
It was a wonderful feeling walking across that stage, graduating.
We can grow in all kinds of ways, but we couldn't have grown if we hadn't been given the opportunity.
Please, open your heart and help us to open the door. Your donation will make a world of difference for someone who's ready to live on their own.
Housing Unlimited, thank you for working with me and not abandoning me.
Thank you for giving me the independence, self-confidence.
I'm very glad that you saw potential in me.
I would just like to say, ready or not, here I come.
Now, joining me in the studio to talk about Housing Unlimited, Inc. and the work they do is Abe Schuchman, Chief Executive Officer of Housing Unlimited, Inc. Abe, welcome to Solutions.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. I understand that you were involved with starting this nonprofit 30 years ago.
Yes.
Tell me how the organization got started.
Well, there was an amazing group of volunteers with a nonprofit called NAMI, Montgomery County, National Alliance for Mental Illness. And they started a affordable housing committee to address this crisis in housing for folks in mental health recovery. And they spun off that committee in 1991 to form Housing Unlimited. And I was lucky enough to be the first staff person hired in 1994. Yeah. And together we purchased our first house.
Wow. And you purchased that house where?
That one was purchased in Silver Spring.
In Silver Spring. So what is the mission of Housing Unlimited?
We work really hard to promote community integration and independence for folks in mental health recovery. And we do it by providing permanent, affordable, independent housing for folks in mental health recovery. Mm-hmm. And we've been at it for 30 years.
Mm-hmm. And so what do you mean by mental health recovery?
Folks who are working hard to address issues like depression or anxiety, different things like that.
Okay. And so what is your background? What got you interested in wanting to be a part of providing affordable housing for others?
Well, I was lucky enough to grow up in Montgomery County. I'm a Churchill High School graduate.
Okay.
And it's just a privilege to be able to give back to the community that I had the benefit of growing up in. My background is in public interest law. I was a staff attorney with the Virginia Legal Aid Society and specialized in affordable housing there.
Oh, wow.
So when I came back home, it was just a great opportunity to continue that work in affordable housing.
So tell me, how prevalent is this need?
Unfortunately, it's quite prevalent. I think as you may have read the headlines, we have an affordable housing crisis nationally, and Montgomery County is no exception. And in particular, folks with disabilities, folks with mental health challenges, have an acute affordable housing crisis. And so, for example, we have over 200 people on our waiting list.
Wow. And how many people actually living in the houses?
We have 247 folks. Ours is shared housing, and those 247 are spread out amongst 90 homes throughout Montgomery County.
Wow, that's pretty good. And who are your tenants? Who's living in the houses? What's their demographics?
I would say predominantly folks with very limited incomes. So the average income might be $900 a month for our tenants, and tenants are paying 1/3 of that towards their rent. And so we have that dimension of tough economics, very low income, very, very hard to find affordable housing where if you're paying a reasonable rent, about 1/3 of your income, that would be about $300.
Wow.
And that's roughly what we're charging on average, and that's inclusive of all utilities and a fully furnished home.
Wow, fully furnished.
Fully furnished home.
That's great. So how do the tenants, do they have to have jobs, or are there programs that can help them with that rent if they don't have a job?
Yes, they do not have to have a job. Many of our tenants do have jobs. Others maybe have Social Security based on disability. Whatever a person's income is, they know that they're only obligated, their rent is only 1/3 of that income. So it's a sliding rent scale. And, I think people are in different stages of their recovery, and people are at different places in terms of seeking part-time work or full-time work. And our approach is basically to be encouraging. We even provide a community participation rent credit.
Okay, what does that mean?
Basically, for each day a person is able to help the local economy by working, or the social fabric of the community by volunteering, or even going back to school and building up their skill set. For each day a person's devoted to that, we'll take $1 off their rent up to 20 days or $20 per month.
Wow, so the rent that they pay, is that enough to cover the cost of running a house like that, or is it supported by
Well, you can
some
see I lose a lot of hair at night thinking about that question. The short answer is it's not enough. The tenant rent contributions, coupled with a wonderful shallow rent subsidy from Montgomery County government, covers about 70% of our organizational expenses. But we do spend a lot of time and hard work with the community raising that remaining 30%, which is around a bit over $500,000 a year that we have to raise to be able to
How much
charge
again?
a bit over $500,000 a year. This is all about striving to drive those rents down so that they're affordable to people with these very, very low incomes.
So how do you raise that money? Do you do fundraisers, or is it grants you have to apply for?
Yeah, it's all of the above. Each year we have a spring fundraiser, a special event. called our Welcome Home Celebration, and that's a wonderful part of the equation. And then we reach out to the community, to individuals, families, corporations and foundations, and local government helps as well.
And so how many people, well, you said there are over you have how many people living in?
247 and growing. We're in an expansion mode. We're excited to be able to raise funds now to purchase another 4 to 6 homes over the next 18 months.
And an average of how many in one home? Is that
2 to 3. Yeah, most
3.
of our homes are either 2-bedroom condos for 2 people or 3-bedroom townhomes for 3 people.
And how do you match up who will live with whom and where?
Well, the most important thing we do on the match-up side is to invite folks to meet each other.
Okay.
So we really strive for that, and people can give us feedback on whether or not it feels like a good fit. We also have 30 years of experience of striving to make good matches, and thankfully it's overall gone very nicely.
And so how do the tenants, are there rules? How you know, that they have to follow in order to live together, to maintain?
Yeah, from day one we've had a traditional lease with all the privileges and obligations of a traditional lease. And so it's critically important that tenants pay their rent on time, respect their housemates and others, and keep a clean unit. Those are the driving principles for a successful tenancy.
Do they know how to maintain?
Right. Thankfully, tenants are overall doing a great job.
Okay.
We try to be compassionate property managers. So we really strive to not just say sign on the bottom line of a lease, but to really take time to explain all the provisions of the lease and then reinforce that throughout the year.
So you all purchase the homes that you offer. Why do you purchase? There are others who offer the same kind of service, but they rent the homes. Why do you choose to purchase?
Our board of directors and myself felt very strongly that we wanted this to be permanent, affordable housing stock for generations to come. And so by going the extra mile to raise the funds to purchase homes, we really feel like we can control that destiny. And I think it means a lot to be able to tell our tenants, we're here for the long haul.
Yeah.
And you should feel very good about that.
How long can people stay in the homes?
If a tenant honors the lease, they can stay indefinitely. And many of our tenants stay for a year or so, many stay for a decade or so. Say the typical tenancy or tenure is between 4 and 5 years.
Okay. And how old do you have to be able to live in one of these homes?
We are serving single adults, 18 and older.
18 and older.
Yeah.
Okay. So you say the homes are furnished. The tenants don't have to worry about getting furniture and all of this?
Absolutely. We're so grateful to the community because we rely on gently used, donated furniture to furnish all our homes. Of course, a tenant, if they do have their own furniture, can bring that in.
Oh, they can? Okay.
They can, yeah. But I think it's been very comforting because about 4 of every 10 new tenants are coming to us from Montgomery County homeless shelters.
Okay.
So they may just have the backpack on their back, so to speak.
Wow. So I understand also that you provide a program that helps build leadership skills for these tenants. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, from the get-go, we felt very strongly that there ought to be a Housing Unlimited Tenants Association or Tenants Council to promote leadership building, networking, peer support. And so we raise charitable dollars to fund this autonomous tenants association, and there are elected tenant leaders, and they design their own programming, their own get-togethers, their own educational events, and of course we work hard as staff to meet with them periodically so they can tell us what we're doing well and what we need to improve upon.
Nice. So you mentioned staff. Tell me about your staff. How many people work with Housing Unlimited?
Well, we joke that we're lean and nice. We have 21 staff members. That's 10 full-time and 11 part-time staff.
Wow. And so what do they all do? I'm sure various things, but.
Yeah, we have a 5-person leadership team. We have staff devoted to finance. We have staff devoted to property development and maintenance. And we have staff devoted to day in and day out property management.
Okay. So are there, and I'm sure after being with an organization as long as you have been, that there are things that you would think about make you feel good about the work that you do. Tell me a little bit about what makes you feel good about what you're doing.
Well, 2 things come to my mind. First, sort of internally within our staff, we've been really proud of our staff, including a real emphasis on hiring outstanding former tenants and other folks with lived experience to service staff. And I'm really excited to share that almost half of my staff are folks with lived experience who really enrich our staff, serve as powerful role models for our tenants, and just help us to be smart and wise about crafting policies and procedures that truly benefit the community we're serving. And then the other thing that is very special is when that individual comes in to sign a lease, and they might be coming straight from Montgomery County homeless shelter, they might be coming straight from their aging parents' home, and the parents are in their 80s and 90s and no longer able to care for their loved one, and just to see the smile on their face when we hand the keys over and say, welcome to your home.
That is special. Abe, thank you for being on Solutions, and thank you for the solution that Housing Unlimited provides to the tenants that you serve.
Thank you.
We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, I'll be joined by Lisa Cook, Director of Property Development and Maintenance at Housing Unlimited, Inc. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
I was a quarterback at Hardaway High School, college first-round draft pick, on and off the field. We were taught to not show any signs of weakness. During the football season, I would stop eating, but I didn't know I was depressed. I thought that something was wrong with me. For 20 plus years was physical. We didn't have any education behind what mental health was. I started to learn it starts here first. If this is together, I'll be better as a father, as a man, and as a husband. Put the importance on your mental health. I'm not scared to talk about it anymore. The first tool is therapy. The second one is positive self-talk. And then journaling, putting your thoughts on paper. We have to redefine what being a strong man is and heal, love your mind.
Welcome back. I'm Cheryl Hawkins. You're watching Solutions, the series that highlights the great work that nonprofits do in our communities. On this episode, we're highlighting Housing Unlimited in Montgomery County. Joining me now to talk more about the properties that Housing Unlimited offer their tenants is Lisa Cook, Director of Property Development and Maintenance at Housing Unlimited. Lisa, welcome to Solutions.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming. So as Director of Property Development and Maintenance, what are your responsibilities at Housing Unlimited?
Well, my primary responsibilities are to work with our realtor, settlement attorneys, developers, and contractors on the purchase of our new homes and renovations, and also to supervise our maintenance team.
That's a big responsibility that you have working with all those people. Tell me, what's your background and how did you get involved with Housing Unlimited?
Well, I've always worked in the nonprofit sector, and specifically in Montgomery County. I worked with the homeless services, and came to Housing Unlimited in 2010.
Okay.
So I've been in my 14th year here.
Oh, great.
Yep.
So what are you looking for when you start looking for properties for Housing Unlimited?
Well, we're looking for homes that are convenient to public transportation, employment opportunities, and support services for our tenants.
Okay, and how do you go about searching? What tools do you use to look for property?
Well, we work with a realtor.
Okay.
Who will pull.
Do you have several
list for
realtors
us.
you work with, or you have
Well,
a particular?
currently is one that's a long-term
Okay.
realtor, Jackie Simon, if we can mention names.
Sure.
She's been with us for years, almost from the beginning, I believe.
Okay.
So she, she knows our criteria, and she will pull lists for us, and we do some research on our own, and then we'll just go out and visit the properties and see if they meet our needs.
And so once you purchase properties and you have them ready for the tenants to live in, how often or what kind of maintenance do you do on these properties, and how does that play out?
Well, the tenants are responsible for calling in maintenance items as they come up, and they're aware of them. Again, we have a fantastic maintenance team that will go out and respond to the calls and take care of the matters.
So have you always been interested in dealing with real estate? I have a girlfriend who just bought another house, but still looking at houses. She loves looking at houses.
Yeah.
Is that something you like to do?
I do. I've always liked design and that kind of thing, but given the opportunity to work, with our realtor Jackie, and I just really got into it, and I love designing, doing the major renovations at our homes, and just trying to make them beautiful for our tenants.
That's awesome. So have the homes, are they that you purchase, and I know in purchasing you're probably looking at costs and the condition of the buildings and all of that. Do you purchase buildings or property that may need work?
Yes, we have. Sometimes, especially with the moderately priced dwelling units, if it's a resale unit, it may need some work. May have been a lot of damage done, and we'll just go in and create a scope of work and get it done.
And so the houses you're looking to purchase, they're where throughout?
Well, we have a scattered site approach, so we have homes from between Germantown and downtown Silver Spring to Bethesda and up to Olney, so we're all throughout the county.
Wow. And so does Montgomery County have housing initiatives that help you with purchasing the homes?
Yes, both Montgomery County and the state of Maryland both have programs or grants and loans that assist us with the purchase of homes.
And is there any, in terms of maintenance, regular stuff that you do on a regular basis, or say like every so often you got to repaint and that kind of stuff, and fix gutters, things that tenants wouldn't know?
Right. Well, we have our regular schedule of preventive maintenance items, such as the gutter cleanings and different things, paintings, prepping new vacancies, and that kind of thing. So yeah, that's just an ongoing thing that we do.
What kind of preventative stuff do you do for your homes to say that you're making sure they if there's an emergency or something, say if there's a fire, God forbid, or something like that, that are within the home, do you provide anything like that? You see advertisement where you can find these ladders that hang off the window if you have to escape or stuff like that. Do you think about that kind of thing when you?
Yes, we do. We do have code enforcement inspections every couple of years.
Okay.
For as far as preventive maintenance, all of our homes are equipped with smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors. We have fire extinguishers in the homes, and our maintenance staff will check on these things, making sure they're still current and that kind of thing. And we do have, like I said, a preventive maintenance rotation that we just go through every year and update it as needed. And perform, we work with outside vendors and contractors to perform a lot of our preventive maintenance, such as gutter cleanings and, those things, checking the roofs. And
in terms of, you have houses too, And
yes, we have 8 single-family homes. And,
okay.
The rest are condos and townhomes.
Okay, and so the maintenance of, are there grounds around the homes that have to be maintained?
Yes, and specifically at our single-family homes. A lot of yard.
So if the tenant wanted to do that, could they?
Yeah, definitely. Well, we offer tenant internships.
Okay.
So if, say, a tenant at one, if it's at the property that they live at, they could do the yard work in lieu of a regular chore or a different inside chore. And if no one at that house wants to do it, we hire interns.
Okay.
So we have several interns that we work with that do lawn care, leaf work and that kind of thing at our homes.
Awesome. So are you training people? Do people need training on how to do this?
In some areas, yes, they do a lot of our vacancy prep, so they're learning how to paint and all different kind of skills that they're developing through our maintenance team.
That's awesome. Very nice.
Yeah,
and
it's
so
a good opportunity for them.
Absolutely. Do they? Because some of them could, start a career with lawn care or whatever, a business. You know, do you have any interns or tenants who have maybe moved on into some type of maintenance because of?
Not that I'm aware of yet,
Okay.
but we have interns that have worked with us for years now and have really developed a lot of skills. So I think they probably could, get an entry-level maintenance position somewhere.
Yeah, or even start a little business.
Yeah, and some of them, we also pick up donated furniture from, donors throughout the county. And so we have interns that work with our staff on that as well. So, they could move into that direction, become movers. They've really developed great skills.
Yeah.
So
can, I guess the tenants, do any of them drive, have cars? Is that a issue
we have
around
some
the
tenants
property?
with cars, A lot of them use public transportations. That's why it's important for us to have homes, that are close to public transportation.
So what do you enjoy about the work that you do?
Well, I enjoy, just working with our team. I think we just have a great team. And then, assisting with the purchase of our homes and renovating them and just trying to make them real beautiful and comfortable for our tenants so that, they stay and they enjoy themselves and feel, just a sense of security that, may be lacking for a lot of our tenants. Yeah.
So how long is that process? You say that, Abe was saying you have a waiting list of over 200 some people.
Yeah.
Is it because there aren't enough properties that you're finding right now that you have such a waiting list, or what's the housing market like for you all?
Well, I mean, this past year we purchased 6 homes.
Oh, wow.
So we are, we're getting them as quickly as we can to, try to alleviate that list. And I think we've done really good, but, it's just always going to be the need. So.
Yeah. How many people work with you in terms of what you do, the property?
I have our maintenance team, which is about 3 people.
Okay.
And then our tenant interns, which, really helps us a lot.
Okay.
And we are seeking to hire a new maintenance person. Just putting that out there.
I know, that's awesome. So in terms of the appliances and stuff like that in the homes, are you the one that would replace them or purchase them, or?
Yeah, we do our research. We're trying to be green, and but yeah, we would purchase. I just I compare prices with other stores and stuff, and usually it's our maintenance team that would schedule the delivery of them. So the appliance companies would do the installs basically.
Right. And so you mentioned you're trying to be green. What does that mean?
Just have. Be environmentally correct, basically.
Well, Lisa, thank you so much
for
being with us on Solutions, and thank you for the work you do to help make affordable housing available to the tenants that you serve.
Okay, well, thank you for having me.
Again, I'd like to thank my guests, Abe Schuchman, Chief Executive Officer, and Lisa Cook, Director of Property Development and Maintenance of Housing Unlimited, Inc., for being on this episode of Solutions. If you'd like more information about Housing Unlimited, Inc., you can visit their website at housingunlimited.org. You can call them at 301-592-9314, or you can email them at information@housingunlimited.org. I'm Cheryl Hawkins. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for more solutions.